Yeah, Louie's bouncing for bits while we be dancing for the sticks. Coast to coast, gonna break it down real clean. We got you down for the beginning and end in between. Coast to coast, gonna break it down real slow. Till you can't keep us down and on the down low.
And now, coming to you from the classiest radio station on the air, this is...
Second verse, climbing out of the hearse, jump into the rhythm, that'll rattle your swords. Yeah, we singing a job in, do whatever we vibe in. Summon on up into your stereo, we ride. We'll entertain you, be sure we'll detain you. Prove to fixate you till we see you later.
So he's bouncing for bits while we be dancing for the sticks.
Oops. Coast to coast, gonna break it down real clean. We got you down for the beginning and end in between. Coast to coast, gonna break it down real slow. Till you can't keep us down and on the down low. Coast to coast, gonna break it down real clean. We got you down for the beginning and end in between. Coast to coast, gonna break it down. Coast to coast. It's a radical boast, coupled with four indestructible hosts, bringing the most each week in the combos we speak, or the undigestible foods we eat. So he's bouncing for bits while we be dancing for the sticks. Yeah. Phoenix, Shinjo, Dallas, Chicago. No, there ain't no denying we bringing it coast to coast.
That's my cat.
Hello and welcome everybody to a Coast to Coast Season 4 Episode 2. Woo! We made another episode.
We did. We did things.
We did things. It's been a week. As you can tell, we have our special guest here today, and he will let him introduce himself to everybody. Julia brought a guest. She's also bringing us a guest next week. So far, Season 4 is the Julia show. Got the purple, so we're going to give Julia her
It wasn't ever
spotlight.
anything else.
Julia, her spotlight. There you go. It's all about her.
So good to not be able to see you all, but comment, please.
Yeah. Comment on me. Comment on me.
She's our only sex appeal.
Come on, man. Have you seen Ryan?
Matt,
Have you seen
yeah,
that man?
Have you seen Matt as a woman?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, as a woman. Man, my camera's all warmed up again.
I got you. Watch this.
I mean, we also have
Magic.
Pickle Rick. We're very grateful for his sex appeal. Pickle Rick has very solid sex appeal.
It's very, very
Hey, Shadow.
niche.
What is up, Shadow? Niche, as in Friedrich niche.
Yes, that's it. Sorry, I've only had a sip of coffee and I'm very tired.
I was like, say, you sound like you're just, you're suffering from
No,
congestion.
last week, man, I got railroaded by some sort of. Sorry, KT was supposed to introduce himself, and now we're talking about some shit. Sorry, man.
I'm waiting for the green light.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, so you guys
got
ready?
it. Yeah.
We're ready.
Go for it.
My name is Kendall. I'm from Chicago. Not recent graduate, but Indiana University graduate, journalism major. Also a college track runner as well at Indiana University. So that is me. I also write blogs. That is something that I really want to kind of detail what I do. I feel like I have a gift in doing that. And I do want to kind of personify what I do in that aspect as well. But that's just a little bit about me, kind of a short, spill. Other than that, I don't really want to go on a tangent or anything. But that's pretty much it.
It's got that super low
man.
Barry White kind of voice.
Welcome.
Yeah. What events did you run?
Check us out.
So I was a field event guy.
Ah,
I was a long jump, triple jump, high jump.
Nice.
I did 4x1.
I did
4x2.
high jump.
Oh, nice.
I
So,
tied for first in 8th grade. That was good.
8th grade.
That doesn't count.
That's a
Sure it does.
participation award. That's that little
I'm
ribbon
on
you
a
get.
plaque in the school, okay?
Is it still there?
I better be. Who's in St. Louis? Go check it out.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I don't know.
Yeah. I was pretty good. I mean, it was I was pretty good. I don't really try to talk about that too much, but it's just something I did as a hobby, and I just took it further.
Nice.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
I don't know, man. Do you have scholarships and stuff?
Yeah, I had 3 full rides. It's hard to get a scholarship in track.
Wow.
Man,
So I had
that's
3
awesome.
full
Oh, good.
rides. Yeah,
Very cool.
and yeah, that's pretty much it. I actually chose to go to
Nice.
IU, which wasn't a full ride; it was a partial. But I just wanted to go because of the notoriety and the name and the competition versus going to like a small. Because I had HBCUs that recruited me, that gave me full scholarships. But yeah, I didn't go. Should have went because obviously, I'm paying student loans back, and I'm like, oh, I should have did that. But it is what it is.
So, yeah, it could have been worse. But still, man. Yeah, that's
Those
good to
lows.
have.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Soup's cool.
The
Soup's cool.
man said student loans. I feel you. That was.
Mhm. We all had to pay them too.
Yeah.
Yep. Them loans. Them. I mean,
Mhm.
if Alice in Chains ever had to rewrite that one song, it'd probably be called
Them
Them
Bones?
Loans. Them Loans.
I feel so alone. It's a good song.
Mm-hmm. It's very good. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
So what attracted you to running in the first place? Was it like just like
You
an
jumped.
accidental passion? You just jumped one day and you're like, hey, I can do this.
I'm not joking. That's exactly how it went.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it went. I actually was running grade school, but I was doing it for fun. We were doing it outside. It was too cold. I was like, I don't like it. So when I got to high school, I'm like, let me just play basketball and football. Let me stick to that. So actually, during a gym class that I had, I was running around and I was just touching the rim like I was a freshman. You know what I mean? So mind you, I'm not that tall. You know what I mean? Like I'm only 5'10", but I was at the time I was like 5'6", 5'7", and I would touch the rim, and the coach was like, "Oh my God, do you know how high that is?"
That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Troublemaking
like,
teddy bear.
Yeah, we probably should have
Justin.
front loaded that. That happens, and it's not it's not meant to be a disrespectful thing, but interruptions are such a common thing.
I didn't know.
Apologies.
I was like, I thought it was a play on what I was saying.
Yeah.
It is.
We always
No,
think
it's supposed to be. Sometimes the timing is pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean, like that's literally how it happened. And the coach saw me. It was a track coach. He was like, "Look, you need to come out and you need to do this. You need to do a field." So I was always fast, but that is what catapulted me into college. And yeah, it just turned out something that I didn't expect to do. Like I never really fell in love with it until I started doing it, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm pretty good at it." So
I
let me
used to
just-
run a lot in like middle
Yeah.
school and stuff, but it usually was like away from people as they were chasing my ass. But it was I thought I was quick. I always found myself when I got to the street with the grass, I'd knock off the shoe. I could run so much faster through grass barefoot, or at least I felt like I was running faster.
The street
I
with
love
the
that
grass.
Okay.
When I got to the
sorry,
street with the
I
grass.
know you're in China, so I don't know if they got. Yeah, there was a street on the road that had grass, all the front yards, and that was the only place that had really.
Oh,
Like you wouldn't be like
that's
running and suddenly be like rocks. Ah!
wow! It's a grass street. Okay.
Ah.
And I'd kick off my
Gotcha.
shoes and just cause I felt like I ran faster. I grip my toes and just.
No.
He gripped
Yeah,
his
I hear
toes.
ya.
I did,
Like
man.
Rocky on the beach.
I mean, yeah.
Good, great. Yeah,
I live in Dallas,
love-
so we don't have a beach. We have,
You have that
shoulders.
river
A
thing,
street
right?
with the grass.
Trinity River. If you run along that, you're bound to trip over a body or a car or
Oh, that
Car.
just sounds like a
Random-
challenge.
car.
random
body.
alligator, snakes,
That's Chicago.
the occasional bum.
That's Chicago too.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
Chicago.
Why is
too.
Justin?
Yeah.
Why is Justin ninja chopping 5-year-olds?
What? I destroyed my leg. Wait,
So-
okay, hold on a
okay,
second.
So my
Your grammar.
I'll explain. He's talking about. So he used to coach my youngest son's t-ball team when my son was about
Mhm.
5 or 6. He was severely injured when he stepped on a baseball bat and his knee went like this.
Ooh,
Ooh.
To the point that
ew.
to the point that they had to run tendon through his femur and then like bolt it to his thigh bone, femur bone, through his leg. They had to replace cadaver tendons and all. It was really bad, but he was laid up literally for 6 months on
Rough.
his back. And so
Rough.
that's why I'm thinking he's like ninja chopping a 5-year-old. I'm assuming that's the story.
I just turned into a hot dog for a
His
second.
knee
I
got
got really
ninja
scared.
chopped.
Oh, his knee went.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
was the cover of
That's
one of my
nasty.
textbooks in undergrad. Was that?
You know what?
Like a
He's got
hyperextension
the
injury.
photos. If
The
not, I do. I'll
hyperextension
send them
of
to you, Julia, because
No,
you're medical.
no.
No,
No.
Julia
Oh,
would do
yeah.
it.
Jill,
Oh,
Like,
look
if
at
I'm
him.
watching UFC
Justin
and someone's
sent
doing
me
like an arm
photos
bar or something like that,
before.
I put my hand over the screen. I do not want to see hyperextensions. I'll see anything else, but hyperextensions fucking just irk me. I don't know why.
I will watch
drives me
clips
nuts.
back when they like 1-2 punch, knockout, go limp. But when you go
Oh,
to
yeah,
arm bars
dude.
and breaks, I'm done.
No,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to see that pop. I don't want to see any of
Oh.
that. No,
I don't like
He-
eyeball
Just
stuff.
be careful what you
no
say.
eyeball stuff.
Because remember, Kindle's
Yeah.
going to write a blog about this, which I can't wait to read.
Oh no!
I will actually.
I want to see that
I
blog.
actually will.
That's the thing. You
Yeah.
gotta be
Do you,
careful
do
about
you
what
have
say,
a
'cause I will
specific
regret
Oh,
like,
it.
no.
like a
My
vein or
favorite.
a genre that you prefer to write about, or are you just a anything that comes to mind type of guy?
That's what it is. It's called Uncensored Millennial. So it's literally what that means. You know, I don't have a filter, you know, with what I write about. So everything that I write about is more so what you guys think about, but you don't say, or what you guys
Good on.
talk about, you know, amongst each other, but you don't talk, you don't write it. So I kind of expand upon it, which makes it a lot more relatable to people because they're like, oh my God, I never thought about this. You know, I'll write about relationships, I'll write about oversharing on social media, I'll write about all of these different things. And just a way to relate to people. You know, I never did it for the notoriety. You know, I was just doing it because it was a hobby and it felt good to write it. And then, you know, you start getting traction, people start
Right.
liking it. I'm like, okay, well, I think I could probably take this a little further. Let me keep doing it. And
Yeah.
just, that's pretty much what it is.
I mean, well, you had success via athletics with that kind of mentality, so why not continue
Yeah.
it on with this? So,
Yeah.
Nice, man. I'm looking forward to reading your stuff for sure.
I read through some of the stuff. Actually, let me go see if I can get the link real quick here.
I liked the one about dating women.
Oh my God, in 2020. I wrote it in 2020, but I talk about dating women in 2020. I vaguely
Oh.
remember what I wrote
I've been
about
married
it because
16 years. What? Tell me about dating in 2020. I
Go on.
so at the time, I mean, like I could expand, but I really, you know, I can kind of dumb it down. So pretty much when I was dating in 2020, it was so it was superficial because everything was done on Tinder. Everything was swipe left, swipe right. You know, pretty much what it is nowadays, and this sort of inorganic way of meeting people, and it's causing people to not know how to interact with each other. So they don't know how to talk, and then when you eventually meet them in person, it's super awkward. Everybody has these phones, and I can say what I want. I'm super bold with what I tell you, but then I see you in person, and it's a whole different story. So dating is very, very difficult. It doesn't go anywhere. Nobody virtually meets anybody online. It never really happens. It's kind of a rarity pretty much nowadays. So that was pretty much what it was. I kind of, you know, made it funny when I wrote about it.
All
I was
right.
joking about it.
Do you have a good
So, real
story?
quick
'Cause
here-
I have a horror
Yeah.
story.
Well,
We
real
got
quick,
anecdote,
hey Jeffrey,
please.
for joining us
So
here.
good.
Also, you guys, the website's in link. It's uncensoredmillennials.wixsite.com. Check it out. It's right there. But hey, Jeffro, welcome to the show. Just got back
Hey,
from Central.
Jeffro.
What
You
is
guys,
that?
you guys haven't already done it, hit that share and that
Yeah,
like
bro.
for me, guys. Get this out there to everybody. Let's get some more people in here.
Mhm.
All right.
That would be great.
Continue with your question, Julia. Sorry.
Yes. Anecdote,
just-
please.
Yeah, anecdote.
You guys do I have a horror story?
on my face.
Did someone pay bits for that, or is that you too?
That's a super sweet one.
Not in my mouth, just
uh,
on my face.
Sorry.
That was in the
Would you have that
context
on a hot
of a
button,
mango.
though?
I did,
okay?
but
a mango.
it was not the right button. Hang on.
Why
Oh my
did Toa
God.
flush the
What-
toilet?
No, not that one.
That's better.
No. Oh.
There it is.
Oh.
There it is.
You guys, it's not gonna be a good article that he's gonna write about.
Yeah, man. I feel like, have you ever watched that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they tried to do a podcast about like serious political subjects, but they found this website that just makes funny sounds.
That's
and they
our
end up
show.
just going straight like the Howard Stern's type, like old Howard Stern stuff.
That's quite
And,
literally like our show. No,
It seems
we,
like
we
we said a seamless transition into that. That was pretty impressive.
we talk serious, but at the same time, this is casual for people to laugh. We all are either voice actors or improv or comedics or whatever. So we just have a lot of fun with it. And we bring on guests because I get to meet somebody new. Yo, what's up? I get to learn about something new. I get to find new websites. So I love it. I think
Yeah.
this is actually what the
Yeah.
premise, just to give you an idea, Kendall, the premise of the show, I've been doing shows with my friends since
All
like
right, man, load your weapon.
That's right. Since like 2013, we have adult humor comedy shows, all kinds of stuff. And then in the beginning of the pandemic, pretty much, because we're approaching our second year here, I put out a casting call on a website called Behind the Voice Actors. Now, a lot of times people do that.
Freeze all
Casting-
notifications.
It was on casting call couch.
I'm being
in case you were
interrupted here.
curious.
So you make me drink.
Shadowhawk, share your dating
Oh
story.
yeah, that's right. BSO. Sorry. Anyways, just try to get to this really faster. So I put out a casting call. I ended up meeting Ryan, who auditioned Julia, and then Matt, and then we just kind of rolled into a show, and it became Coast to Coast because she's Chicago, Arizona, China, Texas, and this is where it is. I've never actually physically met them. Short of this, we almost did at the wedding, but you know, it was crazy.
How long have you guys been doing this show?
Almost 2 years.
It's almost our
Pushing 2
anniversary.
years, yeah.
Yeah.
2 years and you've never seen each other.
Well, I've seen them. Just
Never-
never.
Physically.
We need to go to a
IRL.
con.
Yeah.
I want to meet at a
IRL.
con.
We don't think Matt's real. We think he's a hologram.
No, I'm a hologram.
Who loves
Yeah.
coffee and eating weird things. But all right, anyway,
Yeah.
back to
Well,
the dating thing. So
yeah,
Can you
KG, what-
do voice memos on Discord? Is that a thing?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you leave a voice memo on Discord?
I've never done that before. I've even
Or
voice memo on
Shadowhawk?
your phone.
Yeah,
I've
on your
never
phone
done
you
that.
can do it.
Yeah, but I don't do.
Yeah.
I don't do the Discord. That was actually my first time using Discord. I've never used Discord before.
Wow.
Oh wait,
So-
maybe not. Maybe I
Heyo.
don't know.
No?
Trying to.
You got to figure it
no.
out, Shadowhawk.
I've never done it. So.
But
Yeah, I suppose not.
if you've
I
got
thought-
a KG, if you've got a story to share of trials and triumphs in the dating world in 2020, we'd love to hear them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't even know if it's uncensored. I have definitely a horror story.
So we only have a few
no.
words that we censor. It's the big ones, you know. We just don't want to
Oh,
pull them out. Other than that, you know, we do a little bit. We are PG-14, so
Yeah, I don't curse like that.
I mean,
How old is
so-
Pyro?
Pyro's 15,
There we
Yeah.
go. Okay.
but he's my son, and I literally
How
told
was
him.
he birthed? By the way, I'm curious.
No, Matt,
How did it work?
we
How did it
gotta
work?
let KG talk. We gotta let
What?
KG
It's a hilarious callback.
It is a callback. You got to go watch last week's show
Yeah.
for the
My
callback.
circumcision.
All my
Oh
kids
my
were born
God.
via circumcision. And like what?
C-section,
Lord.
circumcision. Sorry.
Cesarean.
It's not a
this is
millennial
great.
thing. How
Okay.
about that? Serious face.
Okay.
Yes.
Hold on, let me check that one off my list real quick. Bring
but-
up Toa's mistake. Got it.
But I did post your website in our chat, uncensoredmillennials.wixsite.com. If you guys get a chance, go there, like it, follow it, see what blog he says about us. I'd love to see what's happening. We're gonna read it next week, whatever the blog he writes about us. Be like, everybody is
Hey,
cool,
these
but,
guys. Well,
but that Toa
Yeah.
dude, he won't shut the fuck up.
would
Sometimes the mirror brought it up kind of it helps a little.
No, I never. But as far as a story, are we gonna all share?
Yeah.
Because I think
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Dating story?
Yeah.
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 I mean, I've never like actually met anybody that I've matched with on Tinder. I've not, and not to. I'm not gonna put a number out there on how many people I've matched with, but you know, it was a good amount of women, and never met them ever.
Why
But-
not? I've heard a new
but,
term today. It's called a breadcrumber.
What's that mean?
It's like when you leading people on with your little breadcrumbs.
Oh my God, no, I don't do that. I did meet
Okay,
somebody on
good.
Twitter though, and I actually met her, and we went to
Ah.
New York. So I was going to school.
Whoa.
Before I went to Indiana, I went to St. John. So she met me there, and she took a bus. She lived in Pennsylvania. I lived in Chicago.
She
so
took
that
a
was like a
bus?
She took a bus.
Dang.
Wait. How old were you?
You really wanted to
So I
meet you.
was
Yeah.
22
And how old was
at
she?
the time.
Me too.
Yeah, she was like 21. I was like 22.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah, met her there, and it was the worst relationship I've probably ever had in my life.
Oh no.
It lasted 3
Tell
months.
us.
3 months.
It lasted 3 months, and it was so off and on. You know what I mean? And I came down to Pennsylvania. I actually took a plane, and there is no direct flight. She lived in Williamsburg, Pennsylvania. I won't name her name, but she lived in Williamsburg,
But
Pennsylvania.
you're gonna know who you are.
Oh, they're
He's
gonna
on the
know.
show.
They're gonna know. And she was like terrible. Like, you know, I went down there and I took a little plane. The plane had like 8 seats on a flight, and
my
it was the
God.
smallest
Oh, wow.
airport that you could ever go to.
So you took like a little like prop, or was it a jet, like a little private charter prop?
It felt like a prop, but the propellers were on the side.
Oh,
What?
So yeah, so it wasn't like a real plane.
Was
I don't
there
even know if it
like
was South?
a parachute under the seat?
Yeah, it was one of those.
Okay,
Yeah,
Oh my
in
God.
West Virginia, we just call that plane.
Jesus.
call that a crop duster.
Excuse me.
A puddle jumper.
A puddle
Yeah,
jumper.
she ended
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
she ended up like cheating on me, and yeah. So that
Oh
happened,
my
but she would
God.
just joke about it, and you know, and she ended up, you know, saying I'm gonna not talk to my ex, and that's pretty much. I was like, oh well, please don't do that. Like, you're in a relationship with me, you know, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, ended up going out to California to meet him, and didn't tell me, and like ghosted me, literally.
Oh
It
my
was the
God.
worst. It was terrible. So I never
Aw.
wanted to meet women
that's a bummer.
online after that. I was like, I'm not doing this.
That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Troubleshooter, troublemaker,
rough.
excuse me, says on the bright side, if the parachute is still under the seat, means it hadn't been used yet. Absolutely. That, or they just forgot it.
Silver lining.
Can we get a restock of parachutes over here, please? Yes, thank you.
Mhm. Yes.
No, I
Oh,
mean,
dude, that sucks. That sucks,
are
dude.
we-
I'm
so
sorry.
we're all
Relationship
sharing. Are we
or-
all sharing our bad dates? Because
Yeah.
Dates.
all right,
I think we gotta as a point of common ground and just establishing
Yeah,
our friendship
absolutely.
together.
Solidarity.
Yeah.
Solidarity.
I like it.
Solidarity.
you told us a secret about you. We'll tell you ours. So.
Yes. Secret for secret. Tit for tat.
Now, when I was dating, and this was in the beginning of online dating, even beginning, this was back with like AOL chat rooms and Yahoo chat rooms, and people age dash S dash L, that age, sex, location.
Yeah.
That's how
Sex
you.
location.
That's how you started.
American Sign Language.
Right. That's what. What's worse is that I just saw somebody post a meme going, if you see the A dash S dash L, then you're this old, and I was like, damn, I'm this old.
Oh.
Worst date I
Yeah,
ever went on was I was 17. We had met and found out we lived in the same city, which was DeSoto, Texas. And of course, back then, the place to go was a skating rink. You go jam skate, have some fun. That was where you go to have dates. This
Sure, we
was
went for
before.
birthday parties.
It's also where we went, but Friday and Saturday nights, it looked like your cup. But this was back before the terminology of catfishing was a thing. And I got hardcore catfished by a girl that was not in any way, shape, look like her photo.
Oh my God.
And
no.
so I dressed up, got my skates, went down there, jam skating. Suddenly I get my name called out. It's like, I'm blah. I don't remember her name, blah, blah, blah. And I went, no, you're not. And I felt really bad because I was being very disrespectful and rude. And I admit this now, being older and more mature, that I was very wrong because I looked at her and said, you ate blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I was not. I did. I was very
That's a
disrespectful.
17-year-old is fine.
I was not.
Yeah.
I still
said
to
the
this
same
day
thing.
feel really bad about that.
Did you get a slap or anything?
No, she had attitude about her. She was just like, you just can't handle all this. Well, you know what? That's fine.
Oh.
I was like,
not the
that's
best
perfectly
response.
fine. No, I was wrong. I was look, if I pray that none of my kids act like I did when I was 17. God, I hope not.
Don't you love that? When you just look back on things that you said to people and you're like, who the fuck was that
the only
person?
record of me
Yeah,
saying this is me saying it
I'm
right
not
now.
that type of person.
Back then, there
Yeah?
wasn't really like.
No.
No one would have known.
No, I was having a reminiscence session with Mary the other day, and some of the just horrible things that I did when I was younger, and it's just shocking that I was that human. I mean, it's good. I suppose it's good that you and I we all have evolved out of that. But wow,
It sucks that we
the cruelty.
They acted like
Yeah.
that because I mean, she's
Very-
like, you can't
Yeah.
handle all this. I was like, I can't wrap my around all that. I was horrible, horribly
Oh my
disrespectful.
God.
That's all right. She made fun of me too, right? You know.
Hey, the best defense is a good offense.
But that date lasted all of like 5 minutes. She went off with her friends. I went with my friends, and then I jetted out of there as fast as I could. The moment she tried to say that I tried to hook up with her, I was like, yoink!
Ryan was praying for your soul.
Ryan,
No, I will.
No, so no,
Brian's like, I met a girl. She told me she was Methodist, but I met her and she was Protestant.
Oh. You-
What the heck?
that got him really good.
No,
Yeah.
I was like, but Methodists are Protestant.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to think of something else, and I just fogged and shit the bed. So my joke.
It's okay.
You get my joke.
That on my best of days.
Shadowhawk
On my best of days, I'm no better.
Shadowhawk said, I made a mistake of being 1.5 hours late on a date, but she was also 2 hours away. What the hell?
Ooh,
Oh my goodness.
you were excited.
So
Wow.
30 minutes before the date started, you basically was like, I gotta
You
go.
were like, oh shit.
Oh my
All right, I
gosh.
told my bad one. Ryan, what's
Yeah,
yours?
those things.
Mine.
He's recording
Well-
us for prosperity for his blog.
Oh,
So-
I'm making this blog. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, it's for your archives. All right. Being a Christian and growing up when I did, there was a lot of hubbub about what would eventually be called the purity movement. This is back when Joshua Harris was writing books about dating, and any and all dating and dating behavior was taken to be marriage driven. So don't date somebody you're not planning to marry, and don't, like Billy Graham rule, don't be alone with someone of the opposite gender for
The
any reason.
Disney purity ring time frame, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, purity rings are huge.
So bop,
and,
dibba, dabba, da, boo, bop, dabba, dabba, da.
and thank God there in recent times Christians are coming to their senses about that. That was such a bad idea. But all that to say, I was too scared to do anything stupid or scary on a date, which meant my dating experience was super limited. But I will say one thing that's at least specific to how some Christians still approach dating, that there are still grown-up people who believe this nonsense, is that they'll go up and say, God told me that you're to be my wife. And this confession's like on first date. First date, they'll be on Hinge or something. Might not even make it that far.
That's bold strategy.
Yeah, that's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for you. But I've read lots of Christian horror stories or dating horror stories from Christians that are like that.
Oh my
or
god!
just like it's stupid how frequently this happens, and that they're like, you look at their dating profiles and it's like, shirtless dude, pecs, got washboard abs, you're carrying a little puppy. And then everybody freaks out. But they'll do that, and it'll be, I don't know, they'll be like Christian on the streets, demon in the sheets, or something like that.
This makes me want to make like a fake profile for ChristianMingle.com and see how many people we could find.
I think Christian Mingle is a common offender in those stories.
Just talking about getting catfish.
Right.
Now you're talking about catfish.
Right. I want to make a profile for like little Nikki on the thing and let the sin begin. Just see what happens.
Little Nikki. Wow, that's a throwback.
Yeah,
Adam's. I love that movie. That's good.
Wow. But yeah,
Harvey Keitel was Satan. All right.
So all of that, all that to say that I personally don't have one just yet. But I mean, I'm young and there's time.
Do you mean a Christian Mingle profile?
No, God, no.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
God, no.
No, never buy into a Christian dating service. That's generally a ripoff. Do something sane like Hinge first.
Anything with Christian service in the title is a big red flag for me.
I've heard good things about Hinge. I've heard good things about, was it Bumble? What was the name of it?
Bumble's where me and Eric
Bumble?
met.
Yep.
Right? So because Bumble actually protects the female, and the female has to engage the conversation to the male, so and they can cut it off, so it's not a bunch of guys going, "Yeah, hey, blah." Anyways,
Here's my dick.
Here's my dick. Jeffrey says, if someone tells you about red flags, if a person and you know that these people are telling the truth, make sure you listen. Trust me, I know.
I can second that completely, which is it actually leads me to I have two different stories. None of them are really date stories exactly, but because I never was a dater, I just like found someone that I liked and we hung out for a long time.
And you just
And yeah, and so I'm thinking of there's the deep like scarring one. And then there's like the one that's just kind of funny. I'm gonna go with the one that's kind of funny.
Deep scars.
No,
Tear my heart open.
No. Well, okay.
Drink myself.
I'll nutshell the deep scarring one, and then I'll get to the funny one. No, there was a girl that I was dating in university, and one or two different people came up to me and said, "Hey, man, just letting you know, be careful with her. Watch out." Like she just giving you a firm heads up. We're friends. Just letting you know. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. And we dated for like 4.5, 5 years. I proposed to her on the summit of Mount Katahdin in Maine, and we were engaged for a while.
What?
And
we didn't know any of this.
I know, because I don't talk about it.
Bring it up.
See, 2 years and we're still learning stuff.
Yeah. And we moved to Utah together, and she ended up like banging one of my friends, and then left me for another one of my friends. And, yeah, the same girl, the girl that people warned me about. And so she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to Park City for a little bit." I'm like, "All right, no problem." And she was up there like nailing one of my good buddies that came to Utah with us from Maryland.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
yeah, and so. And then one night I was at work. I was at work.
Wait,
and,
isn't that the
like,
Mormon state?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure I'm on the right page.
Awesome. Dude, I was a skier, man. Utah was the shit. But no, and then then one night I was waiting tables on my weekend job, and I was a little bit sick. I was coming home, and she's like, "I'm gonna go to the bar and meet our friends there." I'm like, "Okay, different friends." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling up to it." She's like, "All right, well, kiss, love you, bye. I'll be back later." Never came back.
Wow.
Like ever?
Never.
He moved to China. No.
Where's the ring?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's still in. She's still waiting for him to come back with the.
Yeah, no, we had a dog together and
My
everything, man.
God.
So I'm just like,
Dang.
God damn it. And but it was no, it's a blessing.
Right? Shut up. Wait,
Yeah,
it's
right.
too late now.
Yeah.
Find
but
her.
She's watching this show going, I know where you're at now. I've been waiting. She's got a wedding dress on. She's got mascara permanently ran down. It's all dirty from like running around the state looking for you.
Yeah. But the dude that she went to the bar to meet and eventually just went home with, she ended up marrying. So that's all's well that ends well in a sense for her.
I mean,
But
What a solid foundation on which to start a marriage.
yeah, right. But anyway, the funny one. So the funny one was I dated a Mormon for like a year. Sweet.
How was
step up, right?
that?
It was, dude, it was one of the moments like we met when we were both working at the Old Faithful Inn in Yellowstone National Park in like 2002, and it was one of the only moments in my entire life that I saw her from across this this is cliche as hell, I know, but across this gigantic room, and I just like saw her. I'm like, I must know who this person is. I have to.
and Ryan, what's that song
And-
that always plays when they have the eyes across the room? So, what's that song? Come on.
Sometimes when we touch.
Tear my heart open.
No, not that one, but
Oh.
Oh, dream
That's it. Dreamweaver,
Like that's
that-
from yeah. All right. Anyways, but
with the
no,
hearts and the man, I need
Yeah.
those effects. I need those effects.
No, it was cool. It was cool. It was a cool thing to actually experience in your life, and I hope everyone gets to experience that. I mean, and she was super cool. It just turns out she was a Mormon, and she would only, consider life partnership or marriage with a fellow Mormon, and I was on the verge to what my atheism is now, and so I was a bit like, and so we hung out, we got along like incredibly well. She took me to southern Utah where she lived, and I met her family, and they took me to church with them. And there was one time we went out the night before and I had a few beers, and for some reason I had the beer bottle caps in my. Well, I had a few beers. She kind of just hung out, and and so I had the bottle caps in my pocket, my pants pocket. I don't know why, but and then so we were going to church the next day, and as church was letting out, all of these Mormons were just flooding out of this church. And I went to get my keys out of my pocket, and I pull my keys out, and these beer bottle caps just fall to the ground, and everyone just looks at them, and I'm like, ah, shit. And then I go and I scoop them up really fast and like scurry over to my car.
Oh my
And,
god.
yeah, needless. And then yeah, I mean, long story short, I moved to Maryland. She stayed in Utah. She sent missionaries to my house to try to convert me.
I collect bottle
And-
caps,
Really?
damn it.
Oh yeah. No, because we were
She
serious.
targeted you.
Oh no, we
Oh.
were serious. We
Oh
really
my
cared about each other,
God.
and like,
Wow.
and I was strongly considering it because I really cared about her. And then I realized this is just ludicrous. This is no, this isn't happening. I'm sorry. And then so it ended. And no,
I'm so
Wow.
sorry. That's
God.
crazy.
yeah, don't be.
Hey.
My
Yeah.
apologies.
Gertrude on
Yeah,
the
no,
tube.
no.
So that's crazy.
No
First
apology
time
necessary.
chat.
That was-
Welcome.
Mm.
First time chatter, Gertrude on the
Hey,
tube. That's
Gertrude.
crazy. There she is. She's from That's Utah right there, Gertrude.
Gertrude,
Yeah.
Gertie.
Gertrude, I
Oh,
found
no,
you.
Gertie. Long time no see, sweetness. Wink.
Um,
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
that. Whew. I mean, it
I love
ex-
how much we just learned about you, man.
I know. Explains more and more
Yeah.
why he's in China.
I'm. Yeah. Oh no. That's
My curiosity is like every episode that we have going forward, we come back to dating, be like this one time in like Chicago, this one time in like New
yeah.
York, this one time in like Philadelphia. Like he's just like, I'm gonna start putting up a map. We're just gonna like shade out places that he doesn't
I
want to
have
go
one of
back
those
to.
maps where you just the shaving, those coloring maps where you just
Yeah.
like shave out. I have one of those. It's not as big as it should be.
Ah.
I can say that about a lot of things, but like
Yes.
it's yeah. No, I've got stories
Jeff
for everywhere.
Jeffro
Really?
says
Yeah.
after my last relationship, I should move to China too. You know what?
Mm.
You know what?
Let
Talk-
it be
talk-
known. Let
talk
it be
about
known that those relationships, especially the most tumultuous one, had little like zero effect on my current geographical location. It was
I
just-
know. It's just a joke.
Yeah.
My last relationship is my last one. I've been married in September. I will be married. I've been married 16 years.
Yes!
I know, right? Look,
Congrats.
like Kendall's like God.
Yeah.
Big say,
That's
Kendall.
like that's over half his life, probably. Eh?
That's this.
Well, I mean,
27.
we actually met.
Yep.
I'm gonna do a little throwback. Does anybody remember a Blockbuster?
Oh heck yeah.
Of course.
All right,
Yeah.
just want to make sure. You know, we met actually at a Blockbuster.
That
I
is
was
so cute.
she-
Oh my
you
god, I
both-
love that.
she
You
worked.
both reached for You've Got Mail at the same time.
No, actually, she worked at the store
You
that
got mail.
I got hired as a manager for a different store, and they asked me to come up here to do training, and we met there. And at the time, I had a fiance who we were just having. It was a very aggressive, bad relationship, and I was kind of into it just because I was just like I didn't want to go dating, but we were fighting and screaming, and yelling, and finally we split up. She had a relationship at the time. She split up, and about a year later, we got together, and boop, ever since.
And boop.
Boop.
And
Those
boop, I
things.
told you,
Is
kid.
that
Yep.
is that the,
And
Is it
boop.
bibbity bobbity boop or
Bibbidi
is it
bibbidi
like,
bobbidi boop. You're pregnant. You're mine. Ha
Gotcha, bitch.
ha. Gotta catch 'em all. Ha.
Dave Chappelle is
No, Dave Chappelle. But you know, we're coming up on our 16th year as married, 17th year together. She is my best friend.
You were only together for a year before you got married?
Yeah, see, here in Texas, we go big or go home.
Got it.
She-
Got it.
I mean, Illinois, I mean, y'all take some time. Y'all have really nice, like, my proposal wasn't on the side of a mountain. It was like in an apartment. I mean, it wasn't anything special, but our wedding
Of a
wasn't
sheets-
really nice like
sheet
y'all.
station.
We had a potluck wedding, but to be honest, I love potluck weddings. If you don't know what that is, I'm being stared at now. She heard her.
I assume it's just a
Yeah.
mix between a wedding and a potluck dinner.
Yeah, well, pretty much instead of pay for catering, we had all our family
wow.
made all our favorite dishes. It was smelled
That's
delicious. We
amazing.
didn't get one bite, but it smelled delicious.
that's amazing.
Come here, come here. No, come here. No, come on.
Uh-oh.
Come
See,
on.
you can't.
Uh-oh.
Come here.
Come on, Jessica.
Come here, love. Come here.
Hello.
Hey.
Yay.
Hi, Jess.
Yay! Early congratulations.
Aw.
Ew.
Get a room. Get a room.
Ryan!
They're yelling, but I don't know what they're saying. It's
No
just-
words, really.
Just Ryan making noises.
I do that.
90% of our show, man. That's our bread and butter.
I'm
yeah.
nutritious.
But yeah,
I'm
this
nutritious.
will be our 16th wedding
But one day I'll
anniversary,
kill
so-
you.
What's
At
16?
some point, I know
When
she's
did-
just saying. At some point, we have to actually have a honeymoon. We still have never had a honeymoon.
Wow.
We got
What?
married, and then that Monday we went to work.
Oh,
No.
That's kind of lovely this time of
Oh my
year.
God,
believe that.
no! You
Not
guys
doing
need a
that.
honeymoon.
We do.
You guys
We're
do.
hoping for the 20th anniversary we can actually take a honeymoon.
Yeah, start saving.
ASAP.
Start.
All right,
saving.
that's
Oh my
what
God,
that's
you
what our
have
that's what
to.
our new fundraising thing is going to
Yeah,
be.
I
So
was
it's
just gonna
20,
say.
25
That's what
honeymoon
charity.
fund.
Two should be.
He wants to go
Here.
to Alaska, and I want to go to Jamaica. So he
I
wants
just
to go
came back.
cold.
Man.
I want to go
It's
hot
gonna meet in the middle,
There you
Sacramento,
go.
California.
No, I think it'd be great. I'm gonna take a cruise to Alaska
by himself.
by myself. She can take a cruise to Jamaica by herself for her 20th, because by 20 years, I'm pretty sure she's gonna sick and tired of me. So,
Aha.
Oh my gosh.
By
Shadowhawk's
years,
on his
by
20th
years.
anniversary this year. Congratulations!
Man, congrats, man.
Congrats, Shadow! Oh wow!
Oh,
You know,
go
oh,
fund me
wait.
for honeymoon for Toa and Jessica. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Right?
Mhm, mhm.
So is that what season 4 is going to be about?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, the honeymoon fund.
He's a blogger, so everything we're saying is going to be in his blog.
Honey fun.
Yeah.
I'm just taking everything in.
Yeah, he's
So
just
you
he's
guys-
Yeah,
typing
man.
out the blog as we're doing the
As
show.
a good journalist would.
Gosh,
Okay.
Mm.
man.
Oh.
Oh, so KG, I gotta
Mhm.
just to maybe switch gears a little bit. I'm intrigued by the title of your blog, Uncensored Millennial. Why uncensored? Like what inspired the uncensored angle?
Because I feel like a lot of blogs that you see are, in a sense, censored. It depends on which blog platform you're looking at, but most of the mainstream platforms are censored in a sense of they don't really speak about what you think, and you don't say it. It's all politics at the end of the day. For
Yeah,
a
I
lot
was
of
gonna
these
say a lot of
blogs.
political correctness going on, right?
It is, and it's hard to really put out the content that you want to put out because everything is censored, and they can't. I mean, you have to get clearance from your editor and all this kind of stuff, and it's just a lot of things that go into play. So that's why I named it that, because I didn't want to censor myself. I wanted to be uncensored, and I wanted to not filter myself, and I wanted to. So if you read what I write, I will put different words like "I don't give a f" or whatever, and I'll say that, but then I'll expand upon it. I don't really, speak like a sailor on my whole blog, but it is uncensored, and it does help it gets millennials to kind of relate to me and realize, oh, I talk like that too, and I can read it in that same aspect. But yeah, I just try to make it fun loving, but also something that's hardcore. So
Love that.
Well,
Love
I
that.
mean, to be
Yeah.
honest, in this world, from a studio standpoint, for our studio, a lot of the things I post or I'll write is censored, and that's mainly because we are a company. If you ever watched our previous shows, Jamil and I are co-owners of One Up Definitive Studios, which is the parent company of Coast to Coast, which runs this. We are a business. We do digital marketing, digital social media, graphic design, video design, music editing, all kinds of stuff we do. We're a full service for a lot of them for small businesses and streamers and things like that to help them kind of get off the ground. This is a byproduct that we wanted to keep going at the same time as entertainment, because I love to entertain. So I will censor conversations and things from a company standpoint, but from a coast to coast, this is entertainment. And if you come in here with the understanding that, well, I'm not going to do it because you represent, no, this is just me being me, not me as a company, me as Toa. And if you got a problem with that, in the definition of go fuck yourself, that's it. That's what I'm looking is totally on my mind, because if you can't take a joke, don't watch my show.
Also, our sponsor is Bald.
Yeah.
And now here's Baby and the boys presenting the fabulous Ulrich Owls.
Hit the sky on a natural high, so go out and buy some balls. a trip that's totally hit.
All
Whole
right.
song? Okay.
So that is actually Balls Energy Drink. It's one of our sponsors. One of our other ones also is Wild Bills. Wild
Yeah,
Bills.
look at that.
Yes. Who
That's
gave,
it.
this is their Ooh Woo Cup.
News to me.
Ooh, woo.
Boo-hoo?
Ooh
Woo-woo or boo-hoo?
Ooh Woo.
Ooh-woos.
Because nothing says uncensored like ooh woo.
It's an anime thing.
Yeah. You say ooh-woo, we know what you really think. We know what you really mean.
No, Wild Bill's old fashioned soda is a crap soda. I've worked with these guys for a long time. Wild Bill's soda, yeah, they're awesome. They sent some cans and stuff to support us, but they've always been big supporters of me, myself, and everything I do, and they've supported us in different ways. Sometimes in donations, sometimes in just promotion. So yeah, special thanks out to Balls Energy Drinks and to Wild Bills.
Yeah, and it's amazing to KG. I love that angle that you had for or that bit you shared about being uncensored and allowing yourself that sort of freedom of expression has actually allowed you to foster and create new meaningful connections with other people who either may share that language or maybe haven't found that language to describe that same angle before. That sounds like it's been a really fruitful point of contact for you for a lot of people.
For sure. Yeah, and I actually recently I had put my blog and I shared it with a school, like a couple of them, and I had a lot of kids respond to what I wrote about. And I actually wrote about a blog called "Why Does America Love Us?" Us meaning Black people, and it's a sensitive topic because not everybody's that way. Not everybody's racist. Not everybody's prejudiced. It's not like that. So it's an uncomfortable conversation to have. But the cool thing was to listen to kids who are 13, 14 years old respond to it and really get their angle on it. And it's nuts to hear because you hear these little kids and you don't know what they're going through, but they say, I can relate to this so much. I can't believe that somebody wrote about this. This is amazing. I go through this every day. And it touches you because it's not necessarily you're doing it for that. I did it because I was truly writing about it because all the stuff that was going on with the shootings and people getting killed. So I decided to write about it.
Wow.
And they wrote about, they read it and they responded. And I'm like, I've really touched kids. That's crazy. So that's why I do it. It's not for, like I told you earlier, the notoriety. It's literally to touch these kids because you never know who you can touch based off of just typing a 3-minute blog.
Yeah.
Words are still one of the most powerful weapons there is in any world. Now, sometimes people say words that make no sense, and sometimes say words that have no purpose. But if you get the right person to craft a message and the right person hears it, I mean, it can have an effect. Sometimes it may affect only one, and you're shooting for 1,000. But if you get one, man, there's a lot of things there that I think that are real positive. Like I said, if you guys have not checked out his website, uncensoredmillennials.wixsite, that's WIXSITE.com. Check it out. Make sure you guys drop him a follow over there. Have you ever thought about doing a podcast of your own stuff, man?
It was crazy. I can go in the room right now. I had bought 2, what is it called? Blue. I don't know if it's called that, but they're microphones.
Yeah, blue mics.
Like
yeah,
blue
Yeti.
Yeti.
Mics. I have
they're
2
blues or
the
blue
Yetis. The Yeti.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
very nice.
I want to do it just because I like to talk. I talk too much. So I feel like why not do something that you like to do, and then get people on like what you guys do. That's why I respect what you all do because you're giving people a platform who otherwise wouldn't have one. And so I thought about it. Something I want to go through with it, but it's a lot of work, and I just want to wait to the right time and get a feel for how to actually do it because you guys are really good. Like what you guys. You're quick. You're quick at what you do. I'm not that quick.
I'll give you some advice. Couple pieces of advice when you want to do it. First things first, don't wait, right? Because that's the biggest killer every single time. Well, I'm just not there yet. I want to do a few things and just not. No. Just do it. Doesn't matter if you go to our YouTube and you look at the very first episode we've ever made for the or what's called One Up Weekend Live back in the day. Before even this. It was literally a picture in a corner, a blank screen, and I just talked. That was the very first episode, 2013. It was like 30 minutes long. I was just rambling by myself. Look this up. It was horrible.
I bet that's good.
But as you
no
watch
man
it,
bun?
No man bun. You didn't even see me. But as it evolved,
Oh.
suddenly I had 4 cameras. I had 5, 6 people sometimes in a room that was like a 10 by 10. But the way I did the camera angles, you would never notice. And then it evolved into a show with green screens. Like this whole wall and everything around here was all 360 green screens. And everything was green screen around us. And then they evolved into what we have now. So it's a little bit. He totally had a man bun. I did not have a man bun. I had a man bun in 2019.
Don't lie, Toa.
Man, I can't grow my hair. It took a wide pandemic for me not to have to go outside to grow my hair. Okay.
Excuses.
I mean, yeah, I can't encourage you enough. I mean, you clearly have the content to have a podcast, or obviously continue doing what you're doing. If you like writing, then obviously writing. You definitely have the voice for it, dude. I could listen to you talk about anything, man. Like,
it's a
And
gift.
he doesn't even like ASMR. So.
Yeah, I don't. Just read Green Eggs and Ham to me, or read this recipe book to me, or something like that.
It's just gonna.
But as far as like getting it done, Toa, I'm gonna have to echo him. Yeah, just don't wait, get it done. I mean, it's one of those cliches that you got to be willing to be shit at it for a bit and before you can be good at it.
Like,
and
right now,
so just as long as you're willing to put yourself into that, like, just that position to be shitty at something, because I mean, obviously you're a college graduate, you're a star athlete, you're not used to sucking. And
But
so
the thing is, but I've had that. The thing is everything that you've said, as far as it applies to everything. I don't care what you do, you have to start somewhere and you have to get better at it. So when you have a job that you worked at, you at one time you didn't know what you were doing. You know, they had to train you, they had to teach you how to do what you did, and then you were there for a year and you just got good. Same thing with me on the track, when you're writing, it's all practice and it's all just getting better at it. So this is with anything that you do. Everybody starts
to an extent.
Unless you're Toa and they offer you a manager position during training.
Oh my God.
You are going to fail. Let's just say that. Not every rendition, every show I tried to create worked. Okay. To give you an idea, like when before Jessica came in to tell me, because she was talking about 2008, the original show I had was not a video show. It was a podcast, audio only, from Blog Talk Radio Network, called The Bullshootin' Show. It was basically saying The Bullshittin' Show. It was just a group of friends of ours. Well, the problem is that nobody was committed to back to back like I was, right? I had the passion for it, but I couldn't find commitment to it. And even the other shows you'll see where we had like 1 or 2 that was constant, but then suddenly to be random people in and out, different full-time hosts, lack of hosts. So you're going to fail a lot in finding. I got very lucky with the group here at Coast to Coast, have been very dedicated for the past 2 years to try to make every single one, no matter what. And this is their time, right? They could be going to sleep. They could be going on dates. They could be drinking. They could be, whatever they want to do.
Oh, we're drinking.
Cheers. But you're going to fail. As long as you my biggest rule is I hold myself accountable to making sure it launches, make sure it happens, make sure the equipment's there. I have helped support Ryan's equipment and Julie's equipment. I haven't really been able to do too much to Matt, but he gets it all cheaper anyways because he's in China. So he gets it direct from distributor. But in some way or form, I want to make sure they succeed, because if they succeed, I succeed. And that's a people first mentality. And it's really, all the failures have led to this amazing success of this show. Like, our viewership fluctuates. Like right now we have 188 viewers. Right now, we were just at 300. We were just at 300 like 20 minutes ago. So it's like it flows like the water.
It
fluctuates. But eventually we're gonna have 10,000 listening to us, and cool. If not, cool. For those who watch it, enjoy it. Thank you for being a fan of ours.
Like Gertrude. Oh hey.
Oh hey, Gertrude.
Like a single baby crawl.
Yeah, single baby crawl instead of a step.
But when you're ready to go, man, let us know. We will be happy to support it. We'll promote it on our stuff, because Matt has a YouTube channel, Freed's First Time, where he talks about different alcohols, and actually I learned quite a bit about how the processes of alcohol is made and the way they're designed and put together. Like, I didn't even know half stuff I learned by watching him.
There's corn whiskey.
There's corn whiskey.
What do you think bourbon is?
Taco Bell? I don't know.
Bourbon is mostly corn. Like that's like that's the foundation that America was built on. There's one thing that is fundamentally American. It's bourbon whiskey, and that is corn whiskey. Well, mostly corn whiskey.
Corn whiskey. I mean,
we were built on corn and porn, all at Texas.
Yeah, well, tobacco mostly. Yeah. Anyways, sorry, we've definitely derailed there, but yeah.
That's one of our other shows.
But man, I'd be happy to have you on the show again. If you have something that you want to plug or anything you want to talk about, or like any one of your blogs that's been getting traction that you want to bring out to a public forum, then fuck yeah, dude, come on out.
I mean, I'll try to. I'd always like to make it about myself. I'm more so about giving, and I'm more so about, personifying whatever it is that I'm writing about, and I'm bringing it to light. It's not even about me. I like to do it because I like to do it. That's it.
It's therapeutic.
And it is. And what you guys do when you're talking is therapeutic. It's an escape from everyday reality.
This literally is a therapy session for me. Like I get for Monday and all this, I get to like tell the story of whatever happened during this week that maybe I find really funny. Like for this whole week, between last show and this show, I started a new job on Monday, right? Started working in it. It was cool. Started with a class of 12. On Friday, I'm the last effing left in the classroom. Everybody else quit or fired. I'm starting Monday and by myself versus the 12 we had starting.
Oh my God.
Whew. Discipleship.
Wow.
And then in 11 days, I go under the knife and have surgery.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
This dude.
Hooray!
No more keg toa.
This dude's been through some stuff.
I basically have what they call a suprapubic catheter, which is like they stab my stomach and.
All right, I'm out of here.
Tap like a keg.
Yeah, tap like a keg. No, the short version is I had some damage done and I just got to get it fixed. And so I'm still planning to make that Sunday show. I might be hunched over with painkillers going, "Hey guys, welcome to the show. What you doing?"
Penile enhanced surgery.
Justin's trolling you.
Oh, innocent.
Enhancement.
Yes. He's gonna be a svelte 4.5 inches.
You said 4.
You're so generous. Thank you. Aw. Anywho.
And awkward moment brought to you in part by. That's right. If you guys haven't had a chance, keep in mind you can go to our website, whatupds.com. You can donate from there and it pops up our stream. We can celebrate. You can also drop some bits in there for Julia, who is all about the bits. There's my mom, by the way, the one who went, haha. That's my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hello to a mother.
Hello to his mother.
Hello, mother of God.
Greetings, mother.
Oh, no, we have this. I'm not worried about it. Like, I will tell these conversations and jokes with my mom. I mean, if you can't laugh about this stuff, I mean, what are you going to do? I'm going to go get in a corner and cry.
Yeah. So my grandma is the one who I trust the most with conversations like these. Like, she's the rock star. I love her.
Pepperidge Farm remembers when.
No, she's been on tour. She's been with bands, and she had a restaurant, and my family had a restaurant. But I mean, she's been such a trooper, and she's always been the one to be full on honest when not many people want to be.
So, KG, Missy here. My mother says, I told your guest he was the inspiration to those kids earlier, but we evidently missed it in the feed. So she is giving you kudos for being inspiration to those kids that you shared your blogs with.
Yeah, yes. It's not. It's just that you don't.
You got my mother's approval, so
thank you.
All right.
That's a big deal. I'm not lying.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What would you say, KG, is a topic that that you find the most difficult finding the right words to talk about with prepositions? Like what?
Like how Ryan struggles with words.
Yeah. Words are hard. What's a topic that you generally find it difficult to articulate your thoughts on,
or maybe too close to you to articulate correctly without repeating?
That's a good question. It's really I don't know. Everything is difficult to write. You have points in time where you get writer's block, and it's hard. A lot of people don't consider bloggers writers. They consider it like graffiti with like punctuation. So,
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't do it. I find it difficult to write anything, but mostly it's when I write about race. Like that's a sticky subject, and I don't like to necessarily write about it because it's so much that people can kind of dissect and I create it for the conversation. I want to create some type of controversy because there's no way that you can get traffic or anybody can read what you want to read if you don't have some type of controversy. Somebody's not going to like what you write, and that's just the beauty of it. I think I like it. I want somebody to critique me and tell me that I don't like this and that, but because that means they read it. And so that's important. But yeah, I think race. Although I don't really care, what I mean. I write because I want to just shed light onto it. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty much it. And then I just wrote about oversharing on social media. That was kind of difficult to write.
Ooh,
too.
Yes.
Because then you had to share it on
People
social
do
media.
Because people do it, and yeah, like people do it because people do it because they want to do it, and I think people share too much.
Well, I mean, it
So
goes
probably,
back to attention, right?
Right. That's all it is.
It's and sometimes it's needed,
Mhm.
right? I
Yes.
I work in the social media world, but even before, I worked for a company that was monitoring social media for those really bad videos that nobody should ever see, like beheadings and things like that from other countries.
I've seen that on Facebook. They actually had a documentary on
Right.
Netflix regarding people like that. Yeah.
Right. So I worked for a company that would monitor, have to watch these, stop these, cut them off, like the feeds from them, or in dispatch and work with police and governments to get help or dispatch or whatever. So we used to do that. I did that for 2 years. And the psychology of what you see, like I look at social media, it's like, man, I really don't care what kind of taco you had this morning. I really don't care that oh my gosh, you got your nails done. And then after working there, I'm happy to see the positives, little things in comparison to some of the stuff I had to view and watch. And it was like, I didn't see it every single day because I was in a different role, but I know a lot of people that did, and it really did mess some people up to the point that they have PTSD. They had to have psychology sessions for this job. But luckily the company provided all that. Like you knew coming in, you were going to see disturbing stuff, and that were you strong enough to handle it? If not, here's all the resources, and they provided all the help. So I'm not giving them any flack for it. What they do is very important. Somebody's like, well, you're censoring the internet. Yeah, because you don't need to see some of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to enrage you.
Yeah, it's essentially you are censoring the internet but yeah, you're right, from children watching a dude get his head chopped off.
Let's look at the COVID stuff.
Who's going to argue against that?
Everybody said it came from the Chinese world and Chinese people were being attacked, and Pacific Asians were being attacked and harassed over. They weren't a part of that. They didn't go over and be like, "Can I get a cup of COVID? I'd like to take it on a plane." No, but because that is in the media, that's what everybody just went, "Oh, Asians." Same thing happened in World War II. Oh, you have to go. All right, Mr. Ruffin, thanks, man, for swinging by.
Hey, man.
Bye, Mr. Ruffin.
The man always takes his break during our show to watch what he can before he has to go
Have
back.
a good rest of your work day.
Yeah.
The dedicated viewer.
Go kill it in the face, but not on Facebook.
I mean, social media, it would have been far worse if we didn't have these censors in place. And to be honest, they have very strict rules. There's some things that we let go through. Random titty pops up. Can't stop it. They met the guidelines.
Yeah, if you allow one titty, you got to allow all the titties.
Right. Well, no, because this one was educational.
Educational titty?
Or it was breastfeeding or something like that they have to let go. But if somebody's just flashing, like Girls Gone Wild, it's like, nope, there's no educational value to that. You can go pay $19.99 at your local grocery store for that video.
Yeah.
Gone.
Videotape.
So I get the social media the oversharing, but I'm at the same time I've seen it from a different angle. So I'm kind of happy that I see oversharing of just really cool stuff, or you just tell me about your day, because then I don't have to call you.
You think the over? I have social media, but I don't really frequent it much. A, because it's blocked over here, and B is because I don't care. But do you think it's just people just oversharing, seeking validation, or is it just?
That's exactly what I said in the
Yeah.
book, like literally verbatim. I said that, and I think that's all they want. You know what I mean? It's a public diary. You know, that's all it is. And a lot of people don't really realize it because they've been doing it for so long. You know, but it's poisoned our country, and it's obviously benefits of it. You guys use it to promote and to gain traction to your podcast and gain more awareness of whatever you're trying to do. There's so many positives to it, but there's also, I think, more negatives than it is positive.
Well, I think it
Because it's
depends,
called-
where you're getting your affirmation. Is it
Right.
external or is it internal? Like those
Right.
people who rely on that external affirmation versus internal.
Yeah, and it's competition. It's all just competition. Everybody wants to look a certain way. I want to be happy, and then you inadvertently do things and you don't even know you're doing it. You know what I mean? You're seeing somebody else doing something, and they're happy. It makes you depressed. It causes a lot of depression. It's causes a lot of things that you don't really think about. And so that's what I was just trying to shed light onto that, and because I don't think people really notice it because they're just going about their day. So I just wanted to make sure people knew, you know, sometimes it's okay to take a break and, you know, actually live life organically and don't go to a concert and have to record everything. You know, you go everything, you see everything, phones up and everything. So people do the same thing, and it's a monkey see, monkey do world, and I don't like it. So
Gertrude,
I couldn't possibly agree more.
Gertrude said social media is interesting. We have a lot of social cues in person that helps indicate when something is said, but that's not the same for the internet, and that's a fair statement as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's wisdom to those angles. I once heard someone say that Charles Dickens summarized really well how social media works. It's the best of times and it's the worst of times.
Yeah, right.
That there's a lot there,
especially when your conversation gets uploaded.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you live forever as you are then on the internet. And it's so given that this social media stuff is also still pretty novel. Like I want to say, I don't know, Tova, maybe you can correct my numbers here. I want to say social media, as we understand it today, is only about like 20 something years old.
You're about right. So, I mean, if you think about it, social media as the first version of like what social media and stuff was with AOL and Yahoo, the chat rooms, right? That was the first version of a social media world. Even if you take it further back and go back to 1993, 94 with emails, we're talking like when you have NBC Today Show going, the A with the circle around it, what's it called? They call it at symbol. Okay, at Juno.com. You know,
at Juno.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing? Does Juno
Juno
still
I still have a Juno email account. I've had it since I was with my
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Juno was one of the first commercialized email addresses that was like what Google is. It wasn't, you had Internet America, right? You had AOL, you had Explorer, you had Hotmail, you had Yahoo, you had all these. Juno was one of the first ones that was DOS based version when it started. So you actually had to type in username, semicolon, username, then tab down password. You had to tell it to look at a certain IP address. Like that's how old school that is or was. But yeah, so we're talking like 97, 98, 99 time frame when the AOL chat rooms and the Yahoo chat rooms were king of the world, right? That's where you were. If you weren't out, you were in those chat rooms just halftime watching what people were saying or arguing and becoming, the warrior behind the keyboard because nobody knew who you were.
Yeah.
And also where you found out people were horrible people.
Oh yes.
The start of it. And then you had like things like MySpace. Do you remember it's MySpace? I mean, that was the platform. That was a platform to beat all platforms. It was great. And then Facebook just went, mine.
Yeah. One thing, KG, that I love about your take that I think is really wise is, at least if I was hearing you correctly, in what you were sharing about oversharing, there was no blame to be pinned exactly on and solely on social media itself. It was the people using it, that this is a people problem. And it's not as though it's Facebook's fault for oversharing per se. It's the Facebookers. It's not Twitter's fault per se. It's the people who are using Twitter, which seems to just reinforce this often neglected idea that social media and related forms of media are tools. It's technology. That's what technology means. It's a tool. And
that perspective can be applied to tons of different things.
Oh, so
especially
much.
In today's climate, lots of stuff.
So much. And sometimes, tools become other people's toys, and then you got to start setting rules on how people play, and it's wild. It's wild.
Well, I mean, let's take a look at where we're at right now. We are currently broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Trovo. We're broadcasting on 4 different locations simultaneously right now.
Back on YouTube.
Right.
Simulcast.
We're simulcast on all these. And
What's up?
while
Now in Technicolor.
so we're utilizing those tools for 1, informational, 2, hobby, comedy, fun. At the same time, we're doing it for therapy, whether it be for the 4 of us or the 5 of us to have a little therapy session with each other and just have a conversation, and whether it be goofy, intelligent, ridiculous, off the chain, or derailed, or we're helping somebody else by having the same style conversation. Somebody could be taking the information from, uncensoredmillennials.wixsite.com and saying, I can relate to this particular blog. And now because of that, I feel empowered to write my own verse, or I feel like he didn't have, he wasn't thinking about me, or maybe he'll reach out and say, I don't agree with you for A, B, and C. Well, all that does is affirmate that, I struck a chord with you. I struck a thought process with you. And to be honest, once that happens, suddenly communications, oh, wait, it makes the world go around. Holy shit, communication. What?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, that's the type of thinking and open-mindedness that we need more of, because people oftentimes have the point of view that oh, well, I disagree with you on that, so that automatically means I don't like you and we probably won't get along. That's how have we jumped to such a definitive result.
Well,
oh, I disagree with you on this front, so that means I don't like you. What the fuck? How did that get so dire?
There are
so
levels.
fast?
There are levels in which if you say certain things or you have certain this is your mentality, that's crossed the line for me.
Well, of course there are subjects. It's
not just
but
subjects,
as far
it's
as
thought processes, right?
Well, no, I mean,
if you
and also,
come up to me and say all Jews should die, I'm gonna look at you and be like, I haven't got to punch a Nazi in the face in a long time, and I'm gonna hit you. While I may not have any love for you, my fist really wanted to kiss your face.
Right? Yeah.
There's that
it's
line
also,
that.
Yeah. How much patience you have is one of those things, because I mean, and there could be just having someone that says all Jews must die. There could be, how and why. What road brought you to that conclusion? I mean, how many Jews have you met? Who is talking now? Are you talking, or are your grandparents talking right now? And is it just ignorance? And I want to take the stigma away from the word ignorance, because ignorance has got this negative connotation now that just means you're just stupid and you're unteachable, and there is nothing that can be done for you. You're a lost cause. No, ignorance just means you just haven't been taught that yet. That's all it means. But now people just think oh, you're ignorant. That means you're a fucking piece of shit, and then you're not capable of learning anything.
Well, the word has been modified to express the people who are unwilling to be taught.
Yeah, it's like literally, it doesn't mean what it actually means anymore.
No, but I mean, neither does the word gay.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean,
right. So
the terms. We could list a whole bunch of words.
We can list
but I'm kind of curious. Yeah, if you to use your example, Toe, if you think, oh, I hate all Jews must die. Why, dude? Why?
Right.
I'm not going to just write you off and be like, wow, you are. Well, I most likely will. Wow, that's not something I want to be a part of. But I'm also curious. One of my not passions, but one of my main curiosities in life is what people do to other people. How in the world did you? And usually it's a negative, harmful way. Like, how in the world did you get to the point to where you think you could actually beat a person to death or kill a person or hate entire group? For what reason? I'm curious. I must know. And if that can open a dialogue, then maybe that ignorance can be remedied in some shape or
For
form.
me, it comes down to patience. How much patience do I have for blah blah over here who is spouting anti-Semitic, racial hate?
Gosh, no.
You know, just hateful language. How much patience do I have to say I want to take my time and try to educate or teach you or convince you or whatever? Or do I look at you and say, you're a grown-ass person who has failed to educate yourself on anything? And my favorite quote is when somebody throws a Bible at me, and I'm not meaning to be offensive, but it throws a Bible at me and says, well, God says, and I take the Bible and I find a page that says, thou shalt not judge, and say, I'm going to thunk you with this page over and over, because otherwise the rest of the book doesn't matter. If you can't leave that part as a leading portion that I shouldn't judge you, then that's fine. I just don't have patience to deal with you, so I choose not to. And that's my right. I can just be like, I'm sorry, we don't see eye to eye. Goodbye. And if you persist, I will be persistent in telling you to leave me the hell alone. Some people have that patience. Some people will write it. Some people will say it. Some people will sing it. Some people will, any kind of way of putting that out there. I've lost the will to take that much time with somebody that I don't have any kind of investment interest anymore. Now, if you're watching this, take it as whatever you want to, right? You can take this as a speech to you or a lecture or whatever you want to take it. That's just my opinion. If I know you and you're in trouble, I will always be a person to call. But if I don't know you and all you want to do is talk hate to me, I don't have time for your hate in my life. I don't. I suggest you find somebody who will take your hate and absorb and get you some help. If you need that, feel free to reach out to any of us. We have tons of contacts that could help you too, from suicide prevention to therapy prevention to all kinds of crisis centers. I will happily post all those in our chat and our Facebook for you guys. But I just, if you just want to spew hate, cool. Go talk to Matt. He'll listen to you. I won't.
Yeah, I have a finite amount of patience when it comes to just blind hatred. But I am
blind,
curious.
and that is a cute blind hatred. So let me ask you this, since we're talking. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Julia.
Oh, it goes back to like people don't like cognitive dissonance. And when they are so rooted in a belief, it's not just the belief. It's like, oh, well, my grandfather, who I really admired, held this belief. And so if I think that this is wrong, this undoes everything that I like. It makes my grandfather a bad person. And I don't want to think like it undoes their world. And that's why people are so rooted in like non-logical things, I think.
That's, I mean, it starts admitting that your grandparents are fallible.
It makes you think of things that you don't want to think of, and so people stay rooted in things that are seeming like evil and
perpetuate this horrible notion.
And I got very lucky with that. My grandparents on both sides of my family were very open to you shouldn't hate anybody for any creed or color or sexual orientation. Didn't matter because it was none of your business. And that was my favorite part. And that's why I tell anybody, I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you don't like people being gay, or if you don't care if people are trans or anything else. It's none of my business. Does it affect my life in any way from me living? No. Then why am I putting myself in this position to just become enraged and become hateful? And there's no reason to. Let it go. It's the same with the racial tension that occurs too. The whole argument with the Black Lives Matter. I have no idea what African man has gone through in his life because I am not an African man or woman. I've never been through that. I have seen it, and I can be like, I know what you mean. No, I don't know what you mean. And so those people are like, you don't understand all people. No, you don't know. And unless you lived it and you went and got, there's a new fad now with skin change, Michael Jackson or whatever you want to call it. You don't know. So why am I going to go put my opinion out there like I know something about it? I don't. I'm going to get out of your way. I'm going to let you say your piece because it's your right. Yeah. Especially in America. It's your right to say whatever you need to say.
It's the whole seek first to understand and then be understood. That needs to be
I like that.
kind of brought forth, and people just kind of flip it.
That sounds like a Ryan quote.
Yeah.
It was a Christian prayer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yep.
By the way, if you don't know, KG, you got a professor over there, you have a doctor up there, and soon, I swear, I'm going to call him Dr. Ryan at some point, but Master of Theology and Religion.
Professor Dr. Father Ryan.
You know, of theology and religion up there. Like, all of them are like smartest people you meet.
I'm just a nerd who has a piece of paper that tells you how much time he spends reading books.
Well, I read a really good book. It's called Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Rennie Ito Lodge. It's really good. The irony is that since she wrote the book, she's done nothing but. Really good, Ryan. Look it up for your book collection.
I got too many
The only
books
thing
right
is
now.
she's British, so there's one chapter that's a bit like British politics centric that lost me a little bit. I didn't know who she was talking about, but the rest of it is really good.
Wait, what's it called again?
It's called Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race.
I mean, if she's
Really
British,
good.
that also automatically means that everything she says is right, basically.
Right? And she's
super
like
smart.
one of the coolest people on earth. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's something about the accent that just.
Mm-hmm.
It irks me now. I don't like it anymore.
What, a British accent?
Yeah, I can't take it. I mean, certain ones, like classic
What
ones.
are you even talking about?
You infantile twit.
Oh,
No,
sweet! I get the book for free with Amazon audiobooks.
Nice.
Ayo.
No, I can't take it, especially like younger kids talking like inner city type of like deep London accents that I can't understand what they're saying. I watch MMA, and there's these three fighters: Darren Till, Molly McCann, and Paddy Pimblett, and they're from the same general area in England. And when they speak, I know they're speaking English, but I can't understand a
So
single
you're not going to
thing
watch
that
Bit
they're saying.
Odd, ain't it?
Bit odd, isn't it?
Bit Odd, ain't it?
Yeah, I've binged it. Yeah, sorry, kind of.
Didn't understand a word, but I loved it.
Yeah, but I
So
loved it.
we are slowly running out of time, but before we go, I want to talk about one of your articles, the slap heard around the world, right? So we talked about this when it happened, but I read this, and so recently, slap heard around was Will Smith slapping
Chris Rock.
Thank you, Chris Rock, live on the air, and then cursing him out over a joke over his wife. And then recently, he just released a video apologizing to Chris Rock, explaining in very detail that he was passionate and he shouldn't have been. But everybody's mocking him or making fun of him, saying, well, you were at an after party dancing and singing Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and everything else after this. Like you didn't.
His
really
acceptance speech was like, "I want to be a vessel for love and peace." I'm like, "Motherfucker, did you see what you just did? Were you there?"
Now, Chris Rock as a whole has not really commented too much. He's just said it's a thing, it's happened. At the same time, he made a comment to a TMZ reporter that he recognizes that slap kind of slapped his career back into place a little bit. So while he's upset that it happened and he's embarrassed and he's enraged, same time, it in his world of show business, it boosted him up where he was kind of
ticket sales.
He drifted away. So he's
you think they did it on purpose?
Well, no, he's claiming that he's trying to find the positive in it. He's sad that he's lost a friend. He always thought of Will Smith as a friend, and Jada as a friend. That's why, like, we pick on each other here sometimes, and I don't think we've ever crossed the line.
Yeah, Matt, your camera's frozen.
It was not. It was not.
I don't think we've ever crossed the line with each other.
No, every time I feel like I have crossed the line, because my humor can be a bit harsh sometimes, I will message you personally and be like, hey, look, dude, I know I said this. I'm really fucking sorry if that was any way offensive. That wasn't my intention. Blah, blah, blah.
So my question is for you, what is your follow in the next couple minutes here? Tell me how you would follow up this blog as what you would see. What's your continuation to the blog now that some more of this information's come to light, that he apologized, and his apology, Chris Rock has saw this as a positive, as a career bump. Like, does that change the retrospect of your article?
No, only because I understand we don't have all the answers to what he's going through and what they're going through. So pretty much, like, to sum it up, what I wrote about, they, she got slapped. We know that happened. But we also understand that his whole relationship has been blown up because she does Red Table Talks consistently. She's won an Emmy for it. She's done these things without his, I guess, consent. There's been plenty of videos of her going online without his consent, videoing him on live. And he's like, well, I understand that I'm a public figure. I'm Will Smith. You can't just do this. So you ask me these questions and you're trying to make it, paint me to be a bad person. Stop just asking about consent. I'm still a public figure, and you don't know what this person is going through. And this is just a culmination of all of these things that are happening into one moment. You don't just get up and smack somebody off GP, off rip. You don't do that. There's something underlying that he's pissed off about. And he's like, well, okay, you're talking about my wife was alopecia. Oh, in 2018, you talked about my wife when she wrote a social media post and you responded under it, but I didn't say anything. I was telling my other ex-wife or the kids of my the mothers of my kid, happy birthday, and you're responding, oh, Jada, you're gonna do this? You're gonna let him say happy birthday? And he's like, he doesn't have the time for it. So now this is 2022, 2018. You know what I mean? That's years ago. And now you're still doing the same thing.
They were stuck in the same household during the COVID. That's what it was.
Yes, that too. And they do these things, and I just think it's just a culmination of everything. Even if you read what I wrote about, I went into more detail. I actually put a lot of facts behind it, and I went years of what Chris Rock was saying, how he had no response, and here it is. Now you want to say something on live TV in front of, I think, over 2 million people were viewing. I think a little more than that. But now you want to say another joke. I understand you're a comedian, but still you're making a joke about my wife's disease, in a sense. And, as a man, what do? You have to protect your woman at the end of the day. You have to make her feel safe. And this is just his way of doing it. It might have been in a bad way, of course. He shouldn't have done it. He probably should have waited to the after party or something like that when nobody was looking. But yeah, this is just one of those times. So
there's always somebody looking.
Always. But it was the worst time for him to do it. And I don't agree with him doing it at that point. Maybe he should have slapped them backstage or something like that. That would have been fine. But other than that, it's not going to change my angle on it. I understand his apology, and it is what it is. He slapped him. Life is going to go on.
Well, I mean, the reason I ask that is because when I was growing up, apologies meant something. When you said your apology, people dropped it and said, nope, the apology was done. It's over. Nowadays, apologies don't mean anything. What's the point of apologizing anymore? Because nobody will ever take the apology, or at least from a public eye view. This will forever dog him in some shape, form, or fashion. May not be to the level in which it's going to end his career. It definitely stalled his career for like a hot minute. People kind of stopped and paused and dropped, but it was just two-sided. Now, I was just curious. So you guys can check out the blog. Like I said, the website is uncensoredmillennial.wixsite.com. Posted back in the chat for you guys. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the article I'm talking about. It's called The Slap Heard Around the World. It's actually a very good article written. It's been viewed over 160 some odd times. Make sure you guys check it out. And if you want to reach him, his email is on there. He also has a Let's Chat tag where you guys can hit him up. So if you guys have ideas for articles or you just want to communicate and talk with him, feel free to reach out to him there.
I saw that on your website. That's a really cool little addition. Just
Oh, I didn't even know. I did
say
so
hi.
long ago, I forgot.
I didn't even know.
I did.
It was there. It was there when I got
Everyone go say hi. Go say hi.
Everybody's
I want
gonna
to inundate him with hellos. Yeah.
But yeah.
Thank you.
And then if you want to subscribe to it, there's a bottom. You can also enter your email and subscribe so they get the latest blogs that come out for him. For us, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate you spending time with us here.
It's great meeting you, man.
Yeah, sure. You as well. I gotta wish you guys the best. It was an opportunity that I love speaking to you all. You guys are hilarious. You guys are very quick with your wit, and I don't know how to do it. I'm a very quiet guy, so it's hard for me to come back. You guys are really funny. You're really good. Yeah, I wish you nothing but the best though. So
thank you. Grateful for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So from all of us here, make sure you check out our website, oneupds.com. Like, subscribe, follow if you haven't hit it. If you follow us on our Facebook, follow us on our Facebook page, One Up Definitive Studios. On our Twitch, it's twitch.com or .tv/oneupds. And also on our YouTube, just type in oneupds.com. You'll find us there. So if you're watching us on Twitch, we're actually going to raid a gamer here. We're going to send everybody over there. Please feel free to go over there. What's our hashtag going to be, Ryan?
Oh, it's going to be...
Uncensored Millennials?
Yeah.
Yeah, Uncensored
There
Millennials.
you go.
Yeah, of course.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hashtag Uncensored Millennials when you guys go over. So we're gonna raid a friend of ours named Zezus Gaming. He is currently playing a game. We're gonna raid him over
Yes,
there.
love him.
Go check out
Yeah.
Zezus. And once again, check out the website uncensoredmillennials.wixsite.com. And until next time, guys, we will see you later.
You guys.
Coast to coast. It's a radical boast, coupled with 4 indestructible hosts, bringing the most each week in the combos we speak, or the undigestible foods we eat. So he's bouncing for bits while we be dancing for the sticks. Yeah. Phoenix, Shinjo, Dallas, Chicago. No, there ain't no denying we bring it in.